Today on the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, me and my buddy Jay Scotty are going to talk about the new What If trailer for the season 3 that's dropping in December. Crazy. So soon. A really rad trailer, lots of cool things to talk about, and we're going to do a frame-by-frame breakdown and see if we discover anything cool that we didn't notice before. All that rad for this. Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. My name's Matthew Carroll, and with me today is our good friend Jay Scotty St. Clair. What's going on, Jay Scotty?
Hey there, I am absolutely juiced. I'm buzzing, I'm amped, I'm electrified. Insert whatever other word for being just over the moon excited you got, because that's how I'm feeling. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We were talking about it a little bit before we started recording, but happy Veterans Day. You are a veteran.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Appreciate you being, good to have you on Veterans Day. All the more.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, and happy Veterans Day to any listeners that are veterans, and thank you for your service.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thanks for your service, bud. And let's talk this What If trailer. We got a pretty exciting, intense, lots of new things, and we're going to talk about all of it during the frame-by-frame discussion, but just any initial thoughts. I talked about it with Ashley on our podcast yesterday, but we're going to get a little more granular here. So what did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to listen to that conversation quite yet, but I'm very excited to do so. So that being said, I talked about how amped and juiced I am. This trailer has a lot to do with that. I did not expect to, on a Monday morning, get our first taste of what season 3 is going to look like, and just so many unexpected surprises. Marvel really delivered on this one. Just all the themes of the finality, plus getting to see so many characters that we haven't seen in this foray yet. It really felt like it was finally delivering on what we've been clamoring for so long. Give us some increased connectivity between these characters. So Shang-Chi, Kate Bishop, Moon Knight popped up, the Eternals. Just really, really exciting. How about you?
Well, the one big connection that I gotta call out first, and it's something that Ashley was very excited about too, is the storm of it all.
Of course.
Oh,
of
man.
Course.
Like bringing the X-Men in, we talked, this is one of the major things we talked about on the podcast yesterday, but like the connection, the X-Men connections that we have in the MCU so far are very like slight, like only a few connections to the multiverse through Deadpool, through the Marvels, only a few little through Multiverse of Madness. There's just these little multiverse touchstones that the X-Men exist in other multiverses, and the idea that we're getting that in What If is just cool. And it's a Thor version of Storm, the goddess of thunder.
Yes.
So that's just cool, man. Just really rad. Yes. And so that set me off. But yeah, I as I said, I talked about it a lot yesterday, so I don't want to go too deep before we get into the trailer reaction, but or the frame by frame, but just looks great, and some intense, exciting moments. Is that Kate Bishop that's with Shang-Chi?
I believe so.
You're probably right.
Looked very much like Haley Steinfeld to me.
Okay, awesome. I have not diagnosed face blindness, and then put that through the filter of animation, and I'm nowhere to be found on this.
You're not alone on that one, and I think that's where we're going to benefit from this frame by frame. There's a couple of characters that I'm not 100% sure on, if it's this character or that character, so hopefully we'll be able to determine that by the end of this.
Well, with our powers combined. Sorry, I definitely should have used a Megazord reference instead of a Captain Planet reference, given the content of this trailer.
Right.
What do the Voltron people say? I don't know anything about Voltron.
I can't recall any kind of catchphrase or anything like that, but if you have one giant interlocking Megazord, you've seen them all.
Or have we?
Yeah, right.
One of the big things in this trailer, in that moment, did you notice the 10 rings on the arms of the...
Yes.
Oh, man. Looks good. It looks good.
Yes, it does. Oh, yeah.
So I'm really curious how they're going to drop this. I'm kind of hoping they do what they did last year. I loved the December daily release schedule. That was so much fun.
100% on board with you. It was so appropriate given the holidays. It felt like waking up and getting to open a little present every day. And I actually would like it if more series took that approach. I think it's kind of a cool one and can potentially help a series stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
Drive a conversation. It might not be as long lived as a weekly release, but it could really have, some momentum and some staying power for at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's a interesting middle ground between the all at once drop and the daily drop. It allows you to get a little bit of water cooler, and everybody's on the same page that wants to be on the same page. But if you're really wanting that binge experience, it's not that much different.
Right.
So I like it. I think you could also, and I haven't ever seen anyone experiment with this. I've talked about it before. I think it'd be really cool to do a twice a week release. Like, let's say this drops every Monday and Thursday, and then it just like feels, I think that kind of momentum would feel really fun.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't, like, in the early days of some reality TV, didn't they do that like on like American Idol? Like, you'd have, the episode where they compete and then the episode where you get the vote results. So,
I think they still do that on a number of those shows.
I haven't watched in years.
I haven't either, so I may be talking out my butt. I really don't know, but they do definitely do that. They have like other shows. I know there's all kinds of stuff. With the reality TV is a whole different world because the content is being made so quickly. And
it's not roughly a one-to-one at all. Yeah, sure.
But I know like Big Brother, they have like I think they have multiple episodes a week, but they also have online cams where you can watch the Big Brother house live and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
So there's people who like love that stuff and will watch it live and then see the edited version later. It's weird. Not my thing, but I prefer a written thing. By the way, speaking of loving a written thing, and you will specifically like the day I had, the weekend I had. I had not seen Dune yet. I saw the first one, and to be honest, I was kind of sleepy during it the first time, and like it's kind of a slow movie, and I sort of faded.
You're not alone on that one.
But it's great. I remember it being good, but I didn't. It also only half a story, so it doesn't leave you on that in a place where you feel the same way you feel after the second one.
Totally fair. Yeah.
So on Saturday I watched Dune, and on Sunday I watched Dune 2. Nice. And then I watched the Penguin finale last night, which we will be talking about on Always Watching. So it was just 2 days of like high quality geeky content, like not just like a little bit like here's a new episode. It was like great finale of the Penguin, which we won't talk about because you got to go to Always Watching to listen to that.
That's right.
Podcast feed. Go to Always Watching. But it was really good. But all of it was really good. Just a great weekend of content consumption. Okay, you ready to jump into the frame by frame?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel ready.
Let's get to it.
Let's do it. All right, here we have it. The What If Season 3 logo. Oh yeah. And we're just going to go very slowly through this because it is I think it's a very busy trailer.
Okay.
Right? I don't know that we can.
It throws a lot at us for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times when we do these trailer reactions, we can watch 30 seconds of it and just talk about what happens. And then but this is like 2 minutes and 19 seconds of like frame by frame. Like
that's right.
It moves quick. Oh, by the way, if you're listening to this on the audio format, which is where we have our largest audience, go to our YouTube channel if you want to see what we're actually watching. YouTube.com/strandedpanda, and we're going to be watching it frame by frame. You can watch right along with us. Okay, we start out the trailer with a shot of Sam Wilson and Monica Rambeau looking at a beautiful orange sky. Well, they're framed with a beautiful orange sky. They're looking at something intensely.
Looks like the dust might be settling behind them from either some kind of action, something landing, potentially an explosion.
Yeah, I think you're right. So it almost, because of the way the smoke is shaped, we're getting. See, this is we've never done a trailer reaction together. I don't think, Jay Scotty, have we? Yeah, we have. Maybe we have.
We've done a couple,
but I think me and you specifically are going to get a little too into the weeds. But yes, I agree with you. No, it's good. It's good. That's what we're here to do. But I agree with you. That looks like smoke that is traveling to the right, which means it's a burning thing that is already burning. It's not like an explosion exactly. It looks like something is like smoldering behind them.
Right.
So silly. Oh man, this is going to be fun. Okay. Then we get a shot.
December 22nd. Worth mentioning, that's when this thing begins to drop.
That's right. And that would line up with, did they do a double episode at the beginning and a double at the end? I can't remember. Or did they just do daily?
I do not think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Because I want to say last year they ended on the 31st. But I guess that would be the 20.
That sounds right.
The 22nd to 31st would be 10 days, so that makes sense. That's probably what they're doing.
Yeah.
Then we get a shot of Vision, I believe, phasing through a wall.
Yep, White Vision.
That's right. Oh man, this is our first shot of White Vision. Really? After all of this, we've been waiting for White Vision. It's going to be in What If? That's crazy.
Right?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It says witness the season.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to move past that. All right. Now we have Nebula, Groot, and Korg.
Right.
Have we seen this? We haven't seen this team up before, have we?
Not this combination, no.
All right. It says witness the season that ends it all. But
okay, so yeah. Seems like this is going to be the final season.
Yeah, there's a couple things in the trailer that allude to that. I would say sometimes trailers say that, and it's not true.
Sure.
It could be that like a universe is ending, or that the Uatu is ending, or something like that, you know?
Certainly.
And just to comment on this shot of Nebula, Groot, and Korg, they're armed up. It looks like they're armed up and ready for battle. Also, it looks like the background is orange. I wonder if that is a similar place and time as the previous shot.
Could be. I also want to point out that Nebula, we've seen Nebula in previous episodes of What If, but she's looked a little different. Like in one episode, she had a whole head of hair. This is kind of the classic version of Nebula we're used to seeing from the Guardians films.
Yeah, totally. Okay, moving forward. I like the idea of those three because they just like are very non-human characters. You know, there's a robot, a tree, and a rock. You know, it almost sounds like a playground game you play. Like rock, robot, scissors. I don't know.
Yeah, I also love that there's no questioning who's in charge there. Like you just know it's Nebula.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Don't underestimate Groot.
I guess
leads well with his I am Groots.
Right.
Okay. Who is this?
This looks like Riri Williams Ironheart in a homemade jetpack of some kind.
I thought so, but I didn't want to be wrong again. I'm now scarred. And it looks like there are two other Iron Man-esque looking suits behind her.
Oh yeah, good catch. Yeah, two figures in pursuit.
But to me, they don't look like they're in pursuit because she doesn't look worried or scared. She looks like to me they look like they're flying with her, not after her.
Yeah, but maybe she looks determined to me, not necessarily worried.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. I love it, Scoots. That you're not like, well, maybe. You're like, no, I see what you're saying. That is a determined face, isn't it? Then we get to a shot of young Red Guardian and young Bucky. This looks like old timey. Red Guardian looks really young there. No beard.
Yeah, Alexi looking pretty svelte in that Red Guardian get up. Yeah,
back when the Red Guardian get up fit. That's pretty cool. And they're jumping out of a cashier that looks to me like a casino cage.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I don't have anything better. My first guess was like it kind of looked like maybe it was part of a ship.
Let's see. I could definitely see that.
Okay.
I just saw the big cashier sign and then the larger window with those sort of ornate sides that looks like a cashier cage to me. Like they're at a casino doing something.
Sure.
But I could be wrong. Who is this?
No idea, but just having watched the trailer a couple of times and not having done a frame by frame, I think this character might show up later, and she may be connected to the Grandmaster if I'm not mistaken. But I can't say who she is.
To describe what we're seeing for the audio listener, it's a woman in a white robe with some sort of headdress and like a V or like a triangle shaped collar. But I don't know who that character would be. It's stuff like that with, and like, I don't know if it's my own not being able to tell faces or the fact that it's animated or if it's just like poorly, I don't know.
Suresh in the chat says that's Agatha, and I think he's right. I think that is Agatha.
Oh man, is that Agatha?
It looks like Catherine Hahn, and she's got the the features for sure.
I would have never known that was Catherine Hahn. Thank you, Suresh. Good call. That's cool. And she's okay. So what does that mean? We got a White Witch version of Agatha that didn't end up in the dark place.
The Glinda.
Yeah, Glinda, the Agatha the Good Witch. But what would that mean? What interested me most about that is the idea they're writing an alternate version of a character we just got the backstory for like a week ago. And then like in 2 months, we might be getting a what if that shows an alternate story for her, which I think that's really fun and cool.
Yeah, and that gives credence and hope for the fact that as we've kind of learned that Marvel Television has become a little more disconnected from the films under the leadership of Brad Winterbaum. Hopefully that just speaks to more continuity, like they're cooperating and communicating behind the scenes because, I think we talked about it circa Loki season 2 finale, how it was so appropriate in What If season 2 that they included that, Yggdrasil tree as well. It was,
that was so cool. Oh, that was great. And it was a really wonderful way to tie those together. And we still don't know if that was on purpose, but if this is any indication, maybe it is. Maybe could it be that the Agatha showrunners communicated very closely? I guess we do know that in season 1 of What If, they did cut off multiple episodes that they intended to run because they were too close to what they were doing in the movie and TV realm. So like,
correct.
Maybe there is a lot of communication. I don't know. That is all predicated on the fact that this is Agatha, and I'm going to trust Suresh on that one. And you,
I think he's right. It looks a lot like Catherine Hahn.
Okay, it doesn't. I'm like all the faces look the same to me. I'm not even joking.
It's a little tougher with What If.
Is that Catherine Hahn? I'm just kidding. It's a Watu, or at least it's a watcher.
Yeah,
a watcher watching. Moving forward. Okay. So now we get to our shot of Shang-Chi, and you told me this is Kate Bishop.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident that is Kate Bishop. She favors Haley Steinfeld quite a bit, and if it is Kate Bishop, I would love it even more because Haley Steinfeld, one of her first big roles was in the True Grit remake with Matt Damon and Jeff Bridges, so it'd just be kind of a nice, homage to that.
That is cool. What interests me is behind so that's a cowboy version, we should say. Shang-Chi and Kate Bishop in cowboy attire.
Correct.
But behind them, if I'm not mistaken, that is looks to me to be an Asian style roof and lantern. So
yeah, you're right. Yep, definitely.
I was thinking this was going to be them out in the West, like the Old West or something. But this looks to be them dressed in Old West attire. I just noticed his handkerchief is the same pattern as his coat at the end of Shang-Chi.
His Dragon Warrior vest.
Yeah. That's so good.
Definitely. And it's worth pointing out, I don't think Kate Bishop will be an antagonist here, but in the Western motif, the black hat and white hat is often, a way of describing villains and heroes here. So we have Kate Bishop in the black hat and Shang-Chi in the white hat here.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's black or if it's purple. But
maybe it's the lighting. You might be right.
Yeah.
Purple would make more sense with her color scheme. I'm sorry.
Well, she's got a purple handkerchief, but it does look to me like she has a purple rim or like a purple stripe on her hat, but it does look like a black hat now that we're seeing it in a little bit of lighting. It makes me wonder, that's a really good call on that trope of the black hat, white hat, because now that makes me wonder if like she is going to be a bad guy in this episode. Like that's like hint,
Yeah. But I didn't want to move entirely away from what you brought up with the background there with the Asian architecture and lantern, because I'm not the history teacher, shout out to Jasis and our co-host on Multiverse News. But from what I remember from my history tutelage, in the American West, like our railroad system, a lot of that labor was from, Chinese, like indentured servitude and what have you, and they were not treated very well. So I think if you take a character like Shang-Chi and want to weave a story around that, What If has done a pretty good job of having some pretty palpable things to say on a social level as well. So opportunities right there.
Yeah, no, that's a great call. Great call. All right. Now we get a cool shot of the two of them. I'm pretty sure this could be someone else, but it looks like the two of them on horseback riding out into like the mesa or whatnot.
Right.
Into the desert with some mesas around. All right. Marvel Animation logo. Now, this shot, that's the Titanic.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't
Certainly
tell.
Looks like it.
So we freeze framed it. No, it says Titanic on it.
Oh, yes. It definitely says Titanic. Yeah. Or Titania. Titanic. Yeah.
Yeah. It says Titanic. So what does that mean? I was thinking this would be like, what Marvel ship is this? But no, it's the Titanic. When I saw it on the, I was like, when we freeze frame that, I wonder what ship we'll find. But no, it's the Titanic. Okay. Well, do we think this is at the bottom of the ocean then? I was thinking this looked like space to me when I first looked, but now that I'm like, I kind of see this looking like the bottom of the ocean too. Nah, there's like floating rocks above it.
Yeah, without the context that it was the Titanic going in, my initial assumption was that it was floating in some kind of ethereal, spacey, cosmic type realm there. But if it is, it looks like it might be underwater. Again, I love the art style of What If, but it does make it a little difficult to determine some things. So this could be underwater, and if that is the case, it begs the question, why and what's the reasoning here? And my mind immediately goes to how this season seems to be doing a great job of like picking up loose threads. Namor, just saying.
Ooh, Namor, interesting. Well, and I'm looking at this and seeing it doesn't look, if this is water and there are rocks or ice or whatever above it, could it be that this is the actual sinking and that it's not on the bottom of the ocean, it's actually actively sinking, in which case this could be like when the Titanic sank, like some sort of alternate history version of what caused it to sink and it being Marvel characters somehow involved.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
But I still feel like it's more likely some sort of spatial ethereal realm.
Well, immediately after that, we flash to the Eternals. So if one of them partook in that world event, that makes a lot of sense. I think you're actually right about that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and there's floating rocks behind them.
Yeah.
It cuts to the Eternals, and there's very similar floating rocks behind the Eternals.
Yes.
And
well, they're not all Eternals.
No,
it's like
it's a Okoye, right? Or what? No, that's not Okoye. That was it's one of the Dora Milaje, though.
One of the Dora Milaje, and I think that might be Valkyrie actually next to her.
Okay, who are all these people then? I can't tell who any of these people are. I'm so bad.
Okay. You know what? Maybe none of them are actually Eternals. It's tough to tell. I'll be honest. The Asian fellow in the foreground looks like he could be Wong.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what.
But I was thinking he looks like he could be Gilgamesh.
Right. That's what, because you said Eternals. I was like, oh, that must be Gilgamesh then. But now that I'm looking at him, I'm like that looks like Wong actually. And then I was thinking it was Okoye just because it was a Dora Milaje character, but then it's not. I think it's the other Dora Milaje character we see often.
Sure.
One of the other Dora Milaje characters. And yeah, that could be Valkyrie. Then who's in the middle left? There's a lady dressed in black.
I'm trying to, compartmentalize my Eternals bias here, but Cersei is my first guess.
Okay.
But she does look like she could be Asian, maybe. Maybe a character from Shang-Chi. I don't think it's Michelle Yeoh's character, but
okay, I'm with you.
Maybe Katie.
I don't know.
Could be Awkwafina.
Okay. Doesn't look like Awkwafina to me, but I don't
maybe
know.
Not.
I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm looking at her.
Oh, let's look at her outfit. Maybe she's a Black Widow. That kind of looks like a.
Oh yeah, that does kind of look like a Black Widow outfit. Maybe it's a Black Widow we just don't know yet.
That's where I'm leaning now.
Okay, this next shot is really interesting.
Yes, indeed.
Oh man. Okay, is that Monica Rambeau?
It looks a lot like Monica Rambeau.
It looks like a suit that would fit her well, and we know that we saw her earlier. So I'm thinking this is Monica. The next shot is Monica Rambeau sliding into some sort of like battle with what look like, I don't know, like vampire Mysterios in the background.
Right.
I don't know who these characters are. There's clouds, so they're in the sky.
Maybe the Watchers. They look like they could be like thralls of the Watchers a little bit.
I thought Watchers too when I first saw them, so maybe you're absolutely right. They have the glowing eyes and the kind of bald heads, but they're not, they don't look like big babies. They have sort of like regular human looking forms that look sort of ready to fight, I guess.
Yeah.
Unlike the Watchers look kind of like big babies.
Yeah, a little bit.
Melina. Oh, you may be right. Kazamaka in the chat says that Black Widow that we were just looking at, or that we were supposing might be a Black Widow, could be Melina.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. Similar haircut.
Yeah, the haircut and the clothes work. I don't know that it doesn't look like her face to me, and I do love that actress.
Yeah, I still agree. Yeah.
Okay, and then the next shot. Oh man, this is going to be an intense season because I'm looking at these characters and like, I don't know who anyone is.
Right.
We've got White Vision being attacked with a spear by someone who is in a outfit that looks. They've got those beads on, so I think that might be a Wakandan.
My best guess for this one is it looks like Okoye potentially has been given the powers of an Eternal.
Oh, wow.
Because it looks similar to that technology, the way that like it's kind of like the light emits from their bodies.
Yeah. Oh man, what a mind trip that is. If you're
what
correct,
if Okoye was an Eternal?
Yeah, like if you're correct, then like, wow, good job, Scotty. Because I do think that's like that's a deep cut. If that's all true.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that character who may be a Wakandan, maybe an Eternal.
Yeah.
Slinging a spear through White Vision, and White Vision looks to be either dodging it or phasing, letting it phase through him. I think he dodges it fully.
Looks like a dodge.
Okay, at first I thought it was phasing it through.
Okay. Worth mentioning that White Vision does not look friendly. He's got a very stern expression and looks like he's likely the antagonist here.
Yeah, and I ever since the end of WandaVision have been speculating that he could show up in Wakanda. So with those beads, what were they called? The beads that they use?
Kamoye beads?
Kamoye beads. If he's in Wakanda, I love that idea of White Vision going to search for his memory banks in Wakanda, because that's where like Shuri downloaded his memory there. And so I've been beating that drum for 3 years now. Then we have, looks like Shang-Chi dodging lasso tricks, maybe?
Okay, that's a good catch. I was trying to figure out who that might be.
I'm sort of, I can't really tell, but the lips are luscious, like the model they used for Shang-Chi.
Yeah, and the lighting's a little bit darker, but I think I can identify the same handkerchief around his neck there. So
yeah, you're right. You're right. And we got like these kind of old-timey street lamps behind him. And maybe train cars behind him as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So, again, Old West stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have what looks like the Bifrost or some sort of similar teleportation technology dropping.
Right.
Who are these characters? We have what looks like Nick Fury and Coulson to me in the front.
Definitely Nick Fury for sure.
And that looks like a scroll on the far left.
Yes,
the ears.
It does.
Maybe. That's the best shot, I think. I can't tell for sure. The two agents on the side look a little too...
I think you're on the money about the scroll. I can kind of see the ears on the side, and just the shape of the head is a little different there. But yeah, the guy on the other side is... I can't tell at all. Just looks like a guy holding a gun to me.
Same. And then it looks like it zooms in on, like, is that Nebula's face again?
I think it might be Monica's.
Okay.
Because it looks like a similar face mask that she was wearing, if we were right about the earlier shot about her like sliding in with like the dust and crystalline particles with those Watcher-esque warriors.
Okay, this is interesting. If it's Monica, her eyes lighting up. Do her eyes light up like that in previous versions that we've seen?
Not like this per se. I think we've seen her irises change color to match whatever power she's going to use. But my suspicion here is that she's going binary, kind of like Captain Marvel does.
Okay, yeah, that is a good call. I totally think that's a possibility. The other thing is, I think the the way her eyes look here look almost just like the guys she was fighting. Eyes were lit up, so it almost looks like whoever they are, she has either gained the power of them or they've taken her over or something like that. Like if they're watchers or if they're, like you said, thralls of the watchers, like maybe she has become one, like she's working for the watchers or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a really good call, yeah.
I'm guessing this is Kate Bishop. We got a little purple on the brim
Looks
there.
like Kate Bishop's eyes to me, yeah.
Eyes that I have no idea. Who do you think? Some like crazy...
I'm thinking maybe Werewolf by Night.
Ooh. Interesting.
We got it looks like maybe some scarring and some veins going around some feral looking shadow and brow.
Mm-hmm. I see that. Similar eyes again to the earlier eyes we saw with Monica and with those watcher thralls that we're calling them right now. But
Definitely.
So it could be one of those dudes just up close. I could see that.
Certainly.
Okay. Then we have another shot of these two characters. Any other that were earlier in the Titanic era of the whatever we were watching earlier. But that we mistook for Eternals at first. I still don't know who these characters are.
I'm even more confident that that's Valkyrie with this shot. That just looks like the top that she often wears. But
awesome.
yeah, I'm still not sure about this. It does look like she's connected to the Black Widows, but the face is tough for me.
Yeah,
same. It looks distinctly Asian to me, but it could be wrong, or it could just be, they usually do a pretty good job, but not all the faces look exactly alike. So
being sort of distinctly Asian and being a little bit older, it makes me think of Shang-Chi's mom. But like,
oh, okay,
I have no that's just purely based on those two attributes. Like, what if his mom survived instead of his dad or something like that? You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Okay. Oh yeah, that now to me looks more like Catherine Hahn.
Okay.
That's that same right?
Yeah, no, it definitely looks like Catherine Hahn. It looks like a similar. We're not seeing the entire headdress, but it looks like what we can see looks like it's the same headdress and same dress she was wearing. And is that Kingo in the background?
That's what I was thinking. I think that's Kingo.
Okay. So the rumor has it that we're going to get a musical episode with Agatha, and we heard a lot about how Agatha all along was going to be a musical, and yes, it was. It had a musical through line, but I wouldn't call it a musical. But with Kingo and his history with Bollywood, I think we might be in for something good here.
Yeah, 100%. That looks cool. And then both, I'm wondering at what point this happens in their history or whatever, because they're both characters who've been around a long time.
Oh, yeah. Very long lived. Good call.
Yeah. So this could be any time in the last 300, 400 years.
This is What If.
Yeah.
But what if Kingo is the father of Nicholas Scratch?
Oh, man. That would be wild. And her necklace, I can't help but think that necklace looks almost Wakandan, just in like the shape it does. Sure. Yeah, man. I feel like this more than any other season of What If is just going to be like mission and mash and all kinds of things together. That's rad. Mm-hmm. Okay, then we cut to our shot of Howard, our good friend Howard the Duck.
Absolutely.
In a spaceship. I don't really see anything else in the shot that's notable.
Not in this one. But here we go.
Yeah. Darcy comes along.
Yes. Kat Dennings Darcy. We'll never say more. We'll never say no to more. Kat Dennings Darcy in the MCU. Yeah.
Like, she really earned her stripes, I feel like. Like, she's always been great on the Thor movies, but her appearance on WandaVision really made a difference. Like, she was just great in that show. Mm-hmm. All the stuff where she's with Vision Jimmy in the truck.
Oh, and
that stuff is just so funny when she's trying to tell him, no, you died and then you came back, but then you I love that whole scene. Or it's the episode that is supposed to feel like Modern Family.
Correct.
I love that. And then it looks like Howard the Duck crashes the thing, and I guess Darcy takes over, flies it out. Do we recognize this ship?
Not particularly, no.
I feel like it has kind of Guardians vibes / maybe the Grandmaster vibes.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a good call.
I don't know that it is, but it looks like, it looks like Cosmic Marvel, which it is going to be Cosmic Marvel. This shot is interesting.
Yeah.
Dormammu coming to bargain.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So who is he? Who are these guys in the foreground talking to Dormammu?
Unclear. They are definitely silhouetted other than some rim lighting.
Yeah. Well, they're silhouetted, but they're wearing the same kind of, each of them have the same kind of helmet with like this scooped thing around the collar.
Oh, I wonder if it's Hydra. Maybe Hydra makes contact with Dormammu in World War II.
Yeah, that's a good call. They do kind of look like Hydra. I could definitely see that. Huh. And then there's Jesus. Just Jesus. Whoa, what is going on? Actually, I think this is probably Zeus, if I had to guess. It's not, it doesn't get clear at all.
My guess would be Ego.
Oh.
Looks kind of like Kurt Russell to me.
Good call. And we've seen in the previous trailer, right? Or is that last season? Man, I am so blurry on this. When does Ego fight a young Peter Quill?
That was last season, but, there's no reason he can't show up again.
You're right. Man, I was sitting here thinking, like, that's in this coming season, right? No, we've already seen that, haven't we? Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Jesus. It's just a guy in the clouds. We don't really know. It looks like he's blurry the entire time. Every frame he's in.
Yeah. Looking pretty metallic.
Yep, that's Eternals.
Yeah.
So
but it still looks like Wong.
It does look like Wong.
It looks like kind of what I was saying earlier. It looks like this particular set of characters have been given
the power of the Eternals.
The power of the Eternals, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, the outfit looks like Wong. What was that character's name? I'm spacing. The Asian character from Eternals?
Oh, Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. I'm just like looking up what his outfit looked like.
Oh, sure.
Is it anything like that? Because I could also see, that looks more like Wong's outfit than Gilgamesh's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this may just be 4 characters who get the power of Eternals. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They have this like yellow light up armor suits appearing on their bodies. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy to have this what if episode it seems like it's going to focus on 4 characters and we're not sure who they are. Like, pretty sure that's Wong. Pretty sure that's Adore Milaje. Don't know for
I think it's Valkyrie.
Oh yeah, but wait a second. That's Moon Knight
right here? Is that Moon Knight?
It's Moon Knight.
I was thinking it was. I think it's Icarus.
Oh
no, you're right. It is the Moon Knight crest, or is that just the angle?
It looks like the Moon Knight crest to me.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it looks like the Moon
right.
Knight suit. And
you're right.
Like through what if lenses, it could look like that actor.
You're right. That's totally what that is. But that's funny. I watched this thing twice and just assumed that was Icarus.
You just saw Eternals everywhere you looked.
I did. Yeah, that's totally Mark Spector. Yeah, good call.
Which is weird because he's looking at a layout of what looks to be the big Avenger that we hear later, which is like the Megazord type thing that we're going to get this season. So one of the guys who's going to be in the Megazord is Mark Spector. Like, how does that work? Mm-hmm. Maybe 2 of the guys.
3 of the guys, potentially.
Yeah, potentially 3 of the guys.
Ooh, we talked about this recently, but how I wasn't the biggest fan of in the Moon Knight finale, how it was essentially giant kaiju fighting each other. You could have the Megazord the Avenger go up against Khonshu.
Maybe that's what he's doing. Like the Avenger's about to fight Khonshu, and he's like looking at intel for Khonshu. Like this is like the Egyptian gods fighting like big robots. That is jumping. That's jumping the kaiju if I ever heard it.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I think that's Mark Spector, which is shocking. I did not think so.
You're totally right.
I did not think so when I watched it either. I was like, who's that dude? Green Lantern? What's going on?
With the green lighting, he does look like a Green Lantern as well.
He does. But now in a slowdown, that's crazy. That might be Moon Knight. Okay, so then we get a shot of some character. I'm not 100%. I
want to say this is Monica Rambeau again, but the emblem on her chest does look like a lot like a heart, so it could be Ironheart again.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate because those are the two characters that we've confused a couple of times.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunately I'm not saying I confused Riri in a recent episode of a live action episode. So it's not just that. Sure, I get faces confused all the time, but like on What If, it's so hard. So like it really is unfortunately down to like that's a person of this race with that outfit. Like they look like trying to figure it out.
I'm feeling a lot more confident that is Riri though, because again, the shape of the heart though, but then looking at the face, it is a little more apparent to me that it's not covering the top half of her face like Monica's is. It looks like it's like her flight suit that she wears, like that like armament, like kind of like, how astronauts have like their slimmer suit that like they get into before they get into like the bigger garb. It looks a little bit like that.
Okay, there's also floating rocks everywhere, so this might be part of that Titanic episode. Then we cut to a shot of a planet exploding. Is it Saturn?
Might be Saturn.
It's got rings. But so does Shang-Chi, and he's not Saturn. Okay, we have the way it's exploding. Ooh, do we think this is a celestial emerging?
Ooh, good call. Yeah,
it looks like something is emerging from a planet.
It certainly does. Yeah,
it could just be an energy blast destroying the planet, but yeah, it makes me wonder if that's a celestial.
It's not unlike an egg hatching, so yeah, I think you might be right about that.
Okay, then we get a shot of what I assume will become Avenger, which is 6 different GoBots. I would need to see these up closer so bad. That one looks like Moon Knight. The one in the second from the right has that same crest on the front of him. It's probably too small for you. Where you're
I've got it up on my screen too. So yeah. Let me go back just a little bit here.
That looks to me like that's going to be a Moon Knight, a Moon Knight Megazord or whatever. But then, since we can see that on his chest and we connect it with that other shot, who are these others? And like, I don't think we can tell for sure.
Is one of them the Hydra Stomper? The one that's to the left of the point of the V?
It does look like the Hydra Stomper. Actually, you know what it looks like? It looks like the suit we see Riri in earlier.
Oh, yes.
It has the 2 missile-looking things on the back. That looks very similar to the shot of Riri we had earlier with the 2. We had the 2 people that we said were likely flying with her behind her.
Yes.
I'm wondering if these are some of the people who are flying behind her.
Yeah, good call. On the very far left, it looks like, and we may get closer shots here soon, so I guess we shouldn't take too much longer, but I'm pretty confident that looks like Red Guardian's mech there.
Interesting. If it's Red Guardians, I wonder if Bucky's got one. And it also, I just had to say it kind of looks like Deadpool a little bit, like the one on the far left.
It does a little bit,
and now we've got him. He's in the MCU now. Like, they could have a Deadpool drop in on What If, which I think would be really great.
For sure.
Who's the guy in the middle with the V? Like, I feel like that's got to be a signature of someone. Oh, it's got the wings. I gotta say, the next shot is cluing me into this. This next shot appears to be a similar green layout that we saw Mark Spector looking at earlier, and that looks like Sam Wilson looking at that.
Absolutely.
So if that's the case, could that be Falcon up top? Like a version, a Megazord version of Falcon?
Yeah, I think it's probably just the angle. I think those lighter appendages that are kind of like forming a V at the point of the V are probably just his wings, but, kind of fanned straight backwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And like he's got a beak kind of thing too. So yeah, I think that could be I don't know who the guy on the second to the left. I don't know who the guy second to the left or the far right is. I have no clue.
No, they just look kind of like generic Gundam Transformers to me.
Yeah. Then we get that shot I was just talking about with Sam Wilson, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Closer shots. We said we might, and we do. Okay. On the right hand side of this, that's definitely Moon Knight. Now, like,
oh yeah, very clearly.
All doubt is assuaged. That is a Moon Knight Gundam, which is like that was not on my bingo card.
Right. Yes.
But on the far right, we've got someone with large bluish shoulder blades sticking out. It almost looks like they have a ponytail.
Yeah. Yeah, just generally kind of a sleek and feminine form to the mech.
Yeah, so I do think that's probably a lady. And on the left, I don't know. I think that's the one that was on the far right of the other shot, and like I can't tell at all.
It looks like a real bruiser, very bulky, kind of Hulkbuster-esque. Yeah.
Oh man, look at the looks like almost like braids coming off of Khonshu's. Like it's got these like kind of tails coming down the back.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, the little tassels. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Very cool.
All right, who are in those two suits? I'm really curious.
Yeah, me too.
Oh man, this is like really torturing me because they're so far away, like from the camera, you can't really see. But I wanna like solve this, you know? Okay, let's finish it, says Sam Wilson. Oh gosh, a green one, a red one. It's so Power Rangers, man. I love it so much. And they're pressing buttons inside their suits to form in one bigger suit.
Right. So there's Monica Rambeau.
Yep.
I think it's a safe bet she's probably that sleek, feminine looking one we were talking about.
I think that's pretty likely.
There's Red Guardian.
Red Guardians. Yeah. Yeah, it's got the star. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, now we're getting some inside the suit stuff. So that's Red Guardian with someone else.
I want to say that's Riri.
Okay. Her hair doesn't look like it did earlier in this trailer, though.
You're right.
That her hair does not look braided at all.
Maybe Shuri?
Braided. Maybe. I don't know. The red line on her face, I can't tell anything about this person. I can't even tell what race they are by this lighting. Okay, it's like she's purple. Oh, the 10 rings, though. That's the thing that gets me.
Very
the 10 rings. Oh. Which, does that mean that Shang-Chi is in there? Or does that mean that they somehow got the 10 rings at some point?
Someone connected to his periphery, be it him, be it his father, be it his sister, maybe his mom, like you brought up. Yeah.
Yeah. Avenger assemble. What a great line. Okay. Definitely. And here we get a shot of a bunch of people. And I can't tell who anybody is. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that apparently make up the Megazord, I think.
Right.
And we got Sam Wilson for sure.
Yes.
And I know Red Guardian's got to be in there.
I think Red Guardian is the one that's in the left corner with like the sharp brow that looks kind of like it's almost frowning a little bit.
Unfortunately, a lot of these people, it's just their eyes, and I can't tell who anybody is. Okay, and the face of the Avenger. Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah. So he's got a holographic like force field shield, and it looks like he's twirling like a double-sided like halberd axe combination.
And he's like throwing off little dudes, and I'm trying to get a better, closer look. They almost look like whatever species Korg is.
Oh yeah.
Possibly.
Yep.
Possibly. Who knows? Oh, there's one.
Oh,
closer.
Looks kind of scaly.
Scaly, yeah. I can see that. They almost look like they're covered in mud, this one.
Kinda.
Okay. Shang-Chi putting on a cowboy hat, I think.
Okay.
Or no, tossing his cowboy hat.
People are saying Red Guardian is with Yelena, so
okay.
Maybe that's who was in the mech with him.
Okay.
Again, the lighting makes it difficult to tell.
But. Yeah, it really does. I was assuming the lighting would be like lining up with their colors as mechs, but I can't really tell.
Sebastian Thompson is saying the mechs are Sam, Monica, Yelena, Moon Knight, and Shang-Chi.
Okay. Do we think that... So this is one of the big questions I have about it. Well,
that doesn't account for Alexei. We clearly know Alexei's in there too.
Yeah. Which... I'm looking for that. Where he said that. Sam, Monica, Yelena.
Oh, I'm sorry. He didn't tag anybody. I just happened to see it.
Yeah. No, it's cool. So that's if that's true, that's leaving 2 out, which I guess Alexei is 1, and there's 8 people total. So, all right, we're moving on. We're moving on.
All right.
We'll someone will figure this out, and we'll cover it in a future episode if we get more info.
For sure.
We got Shang-Chi throwing his cowboy hat up into like an old West style church bell.
Mm-hmm.
Shang-Chi chilling. Just kicking butt.
Yep. Like you do.
Like he do. Not me. What interests me about the idea that it is Shang-Chi in there, or any of these characters really, is I'm wondering if those like the Gundam episode is one of the team up episodes, or is it one of the alternate realities, or is it both? Like, are we going to get an alternate reality episode where the Gundams exist, and then when we have the team up episode at the end, are characters from around the multiverse going to get into those ships? You know what I mean, and get to like combine in different ways or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, man.
Could be.
Okay, so Shang-Chi just kicking booty.
Yep.
Knocking them all out.
Doesn't look like it's anybody recognizable that he's fighting there. Just your run-of-the-mill cannon fodder.
Old West folks.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, then we get the shot of some sort of tactical team coming in. Mm-hmm. It looks like maybe they have like almost like a skull type face mask on.
Yeah, maybe.
It's almost like teeth on one of them.
A little bit.
Then it shows Alexei going to town on him.
Mm-hmm. Again, the young stealth version of Alexei.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point, because the Alexei we just saw in the Gundam was a bearded, like older Alexei, I think.
Correct. Yes.
So maybe this Alexei has to do some. I don't know. We end up finding out he goes to prison or whatever, like he did in the show, and they end up getting him out to participate in whatever Gundam stuff they're doing. Who is this? I didn't even see this when I was watching the trailer.
That is a good question. So yeah, we've got Bucky shielding Alexei from gunfire from somebody that appears to be in a high-rise penthouse in a red bathrobe of
Vegas,
some kind,
it looks like.
Or maybe a silk kimono or something.
Yeah. Fancy robe, gunfire, and it's over Vegas. So who would that be? I don't recognize. His bald character. Yeah, I don't recognize him at all. I'm just thinking like these are 2 Soviet characters, and if the timeline lines up, this is when they're younger, so this would have to be someone from an earlier point in the MCU.
Oh, maybe it's Dreykov. Was that the name of the guy that was in charge of the whole Black Widow? That was Ray Winstone's character.
I think so. Yeah, Dreykov,
maybe a young version of him.
Daughter. Could be. I don't know why he'd be in Vegas. Or, of course, maybe that's some other version of Vegas. Like maybe it's some other city. Maybe it's Madripoor or something.
You know, he doesn't look unlike David Harbour. He's far away, but he kind of looks like he's got the bald head and the beard. I wonder if maybe this is a different guy in the Red Guardian suit.
That's interesting. You know who I'm thinking at this point, given the timeline and everything, and the fact that Soviets would want to take out power that's happening over here.
Okay.
Tony Stark's mentor.
Obadiah. Yeah.
Like a young Obadiah. That could be cool. That could be real cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, then we get this interesting shot. This I think is part of that ethereal world we've seen the Titanic in, and we've got like a boat that looks like straight out of, I don't know, like an Asgardian boat possibly, but I think I'm only saying that because it's floating. It could be also.
No, it looks like the one that we saw extensively in Love and Thunder.
Okay, yeah, and there's like a whatever is down here at the bottom of the screen is firing missiles up at things around it, and there's still floating rocks everywhere. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's interesting. So these explosions happen and then they ripple out almost like a portal opening. And
it kind of looks like the Tesseract was used to like get rid of like the explosion so that ship would have safe passage. Like if somebody has like that ability or power or something.
Yeah, like the Space Stone is being used, or yeah, absolutely. Huh. And so whoever's on this ship is running from, okay, then we got
So this is where I get really confused because this, more than anything, it looks like Monica Rambeau and Ironheart combined. Like it does. Like you can see her braids through her mask.
Yep.
You can see the heart on display. So I don't have a better answer than that.
Yeah. So this looks similar to the character we saw earlier that we thought was Riri. And it does have the heart, so that would make sense. But the suit looks a lot more like Monica Rambeau's suit.
Yes.
So yeah, it's real confusing. I feel like they're doing this just to be mean to me. Like, because literally last week I confused Riri for someone else, and now I'm having an entire episode where I'm just constantly confusing Riri for everyone. It's just mean. It looks like they're flying through like wheat fields.
Ooh, it reminds me of Moon Knight, the Field of Reeds.
Oh, interesting. Whew. So maybe this all might be combining with some sort, but it's wheat fields, but they're covered in little like turrets that are firing up at these guys. That's very strange. I was thinking it was going to be like a aircraft carrier or something, but now that we see it, it's like wheat fields that have these turrets. Like look at that, like mounted turrets all through the wheat field.
Yeah,
that's very strange.
Interesting.
Huh. And then we get this shot of a Dormelage firing something, and then okay. I feel like this might be a further shot from that exploding planet earlier.
It could be, but it looks like the Avengers symbol is like emitting, like it's tilted at an angle a little bit, but as the blue expands outward, it looks like the Avengers A. Maybe I'm just seeing
you're right. You're totally right. That does look like the Avengers A. Weird, man. Like that's almost as ridiculous as like the Fox logo showing up. I mean, not really, because this is like an actual, like the Avengers logo exists in universe, but like still,
right.
It's very strange to have a Avengers logo appear in the stars. It looks like some sort of galactic Avengers logo. Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then this is a shot of some sort of character looking like a goddess with like purple. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if this is more Agatha because of the purple and then the sort of good stuff we've seen of her with the white outfit and everything.
Could be.
Doesn't look like her though to me, so I don't know.
But I'm trying to like
terrible at
look at what's going on in the like cloth that's draping down from her arms and looks like constellations and stuff like that.
It looks very similar to the Eternals, like patterns and stuff, and the patterns we see on the Celestials. So goddess raising above a planet, looking like they're dressed like, looking very spiritual, not so much physical, and they're wearing Eternals like garb. That is wild. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that...
That's Mad Mickelson's character from
that's what I was thinking.
Doctor Strange. Caecilius, I believe it was.
You're right. Yeah. You're totally right. Caecilius. Then we get a shot of Yondu.
Yeah.
Then a shot of the Hulk. It is wild. As much as, I know these What If are trying to go deeper and explore different parts of the universe.
Yeah.
It's wild we don't see like they don't so much focus on the Avengers, you know what I mean? Like we don't really get much of the main six or whatever.
I think part of that is they haven't been able to get a lot of those actors to come back and voice the roles. And the people that come in to do the voice work, they usually do a stand-up job, like Josh Keaton as Steve Rogers usually does really good work, or Mick Wingert as Tony Stark usually does a really good job. But it's just, it misses a little bit of something there. So I think here clearly everybody that's like a prominent character has their actual like actor, like that. If I'm not mistaken, that's Anthony Mackie for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Like I agree. I think that's part of it. But I do think they haven't been scared to do it here at time to time. I guess it is very cool to have their actual actors. I definitely agree with that. So Hulk is being irradiated with more gamma rays. It looks like good old gamma rays.
It's either that or he's like taking on like the full brunt of like the singularity energy, which I guess if it was green, that would be the time stone. So he would probably be being transported in time rather than being blasted with it. So
yeah,
gamma radiation makes sense.
I think this is more of that Gundam story. The person to the left has a fin on their head, but it doesn't look like Yondu.
Right.
And one of the Gundams had a fin on their head.
Okay.
So take that for what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, and then this is the shot that I don't know if we spoke about this yet, but the sort of like council, it looks like a council of watchers. It says this is where your story ends. And I'm wondering if this is because Yondu broke his oath, as it said in the first season.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
Did I say Yondu? I think I said Yondu. I meant Uatu.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah. It looks like Uatu on the left-hand side. I can't really tell who's in the foreground. And then a character with longer hair. Maybe Captain Carter.
Oh, yeah, good call. I was calling that a fin. I thought it was a fin, but you're right. It is Uatu.
Yeah, so... Yeah, this is totally my take on it too. We saw in season 1, Uatu was just a watcher. In season 2, he was finally compelled to interact a little bit. I think we're going to see more of that in season 3, and then he's going to, face the consequences for that.
It's cool. They look creepy. The watchers. You don't want to make an enemy of the watchers.
No.
What is this? We have someone sitting on like a throne-like thing with like wires coming out of it. It almost feels like Loki sitting on his throne with wires, but like it's not. It looks more dark than this.
It reminds me most of Vision's birth scene in Age of Ultron. So I'm thinking this is probably it's tough to tell, but maybe this is connected to White Vision and his reemergence. But it also kind of looks like Mysterio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could totally see Mysterio.
It looks like Mysterio could be connected to something like Cerebro.
Yeah.
And like casting an illusion on the entire world. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Like a cool story. But no, I mean it. Like it sounds like a good story. But I was just thinking, have we seen Spider-Man in any of the What If stuff? And I don't know. We have. Okay.
Yes.
I couldn't remember.
He's never had his own episode, but he popped up in some of the team-up episodes, the zombie stuff.
Episode, I remember now. Yeah. I was just curious if they have the rights to use the Sony characters like Mysterio. Or if they
I think in animation it's fair game, but if it was an animated interpretation of a live-action character, that could be murky ground, to your point.
Yeah. Okay. So then we get over here to, it's like Sam Wilson putting down his Gundam and walking to the shore.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, it looks like White Vision emerging from the ground to find a bunch of bots, which I'm wondering if he's like building an army of some sort or coming to destroy an army of some sort. I really don't know.
It looks like it, yeah.
Okay. Shout out Shang-Chi again.
Now, okay. I do want to point out, I'm not sure that they're correct, but Sebastian Thompson has said that every time that we're saying that is Shang-Chi, that it's actually Wenwu.
Oh.
So I don't know if he's talking about in the Gundam scenario or in these Western scenarios, but...
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Expound on what you mean. That's interesting. Because I definitely thought the... like with the scale armor kerchief and everything, I definitely thought that was Shang-Chi.
I agree. So maybe they're talking about the Gundam because we only see the 10 rings. We don't really see a pilot. So,
yeah. That could definitely be. Like, I don't think I ever identified Shang-Chi in that group. That group, I couldn't tell who anybody was.
Sure.
Do you think it's another Kingo shot?
Good question.
I'm not sure.
It doesn't look all that much like Kingo to me, but it could be the lighting. Yeah, you might be right. I think with the way the eyes are being lit up like an Eternal, and some of that geometry that's occurring in the background, that's as good a guess as any.
Yeah, it to me, in the version we saw of him with Agatha earlier, to me Kingo looked older, and I know that he doesn't really age, but he also played his father in movies, so I'm wondering if he had like aged himself up on purpose, or like even just makeup and hair dye and stuff to make himself seem older at certain time periods.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay. This shot of a celestial with two people in front of it. Is that Erisham?
That is. Oh, Erisham. Okay, yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah.
And it says 8 episodes left. Okay, now characters we have not seen at all yet until this moment.
Right.
We've got Captain Carter. That's clear.
Captain Carter.
Kahori, and then we've got a third character who is a woman actually flying with wings, like with like
plumage
wings
coming out of her forearms.
Yeah.
She looks like a redhead.
Okay, you're right. No idea who that character is. I'm assuming this can be another new character.
I wonder if she's an X-Man, given what we're going to see a little later.
Yeah, given. Okay, and it looks like they fire blast out of their eyes.
Ooh, yeah, that's cool.
That's her firing blasts.
Good call. Cool. Yeah.
All right. What are they firing at? What is this structure? Oh, it's an octopus.
Looks like it looks like there you go.
I think it's that Hydra. Later on, when we see Storm fighting, she's fighting an octopus too. And so I think if you remember in the first season, one of the first episode with Captain Carter, she was fighting some big tentacle creature reaching through that was trying to like come to Earth via Hydra or whatever. And I'm wondering if this is like them going and fighting that creature.
Yeah, if I recall back in those days, we were speculating that it might be Shuma Gorath or even Giganto, who ended up showing up in Multiverse of Madness. But if I'm not mistaken, those tentacles end up belonging to one of the Abelisks, who we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the beast that they were fighting in the opening sequence there.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Interesting. Yeah. See, I always assumed it was the creature from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there was also like a hive ended up being the creature that was on the other side of the wormholes that Hydra was trying to reach. But I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think they ever made it really clear. You just fought a tentacled monster. So I'm connecting it, but it may not be. I get a shot of, I'm guessing, Uatu. Yeah. Caecilius again, with the hood up.
Yep.
Who is this?
Could be Kingo again.
Could be, but I really don't know. The angle's so different.
Yeah. This shot looks so much different from everything else. It looks like almost like a different art style.
Yeah, that looks like Apocalypse to me.
It does. It
really looks like
so.
Apocalypse.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know. Captain Carter, Wongers. See, that looks like Kingo to me.
Definitely. Yeah.
But who are those exact clones of each other behind him, though?
Those are his backup dancers.
It might be. I think you're right. But they look They look like they're the same person. Like they use like 4 of the same person. Okay. Yeah. Little Haley Steinfeld. Ooh.
Looks like Loki, but old.
It does. It looks like the outfit Loki wears in the Loki series, but I don't know. That's interesting. Older man.
Yeah.
This is the Sam model we saw earlier. And then Uatu, eyes brightening up.
Is that Uatu?
Oh, I thought so.
It might be. It might be a Watcher.
Yeah, it's a Watcher, I think, and it's the last shot of the trailer that's leading into the What If logo. So I think
fair.
it's an Uatu. I think it's one of the Watchers, and I think it's a Uatu, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
And that lights up and leads into the What If logo.
Mm-hmm.
What If season 3? Crazy. Yeah, this is a lot, man. I knew this would take a little while because of how intense this trailer was and how many shots there were. But man, this has been a lot to dig through. I love it. And the thing is, I feel like we've discerned things, but I still know nothing about the plot or how this show is going to go at all, except for who is going to appear. There's just so much story to tell, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We get a shot of Kahori asking maybe it's time we called in some help, and she's talking to Carter.
Right.
And then we get the money shot of the trailer. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stuff right here. Oh. Going against the tentacles, we see Storm, Goddess of Thunder.
So appropriate, so perfect.
Yeah, and look at that outfit with like the circles on it, looking like Thor's costume mixed with the white leotard. Yeah, is that right? of Storm. Oof, that is gonna be so cool, man.
Very cool.
And of course, carrying Mjolnir, wielding the powers of Storm. Whew.
Absolutely.
Dang, that is gonna be cool. And she electrocutes the giant. See, yeah, look at the arms are
that's much bigger than one of those obelisks for sure. Yeah,
and I think it was much bigger in Captain Carter too. I think, and it's reaching through a portal. So I am really thinking this is that same creature she fought in her first episode, like returning whatever Hydra creature they were trying to bring through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's the trailer. Woohoo! We have gone for an hour talking about this 2-minute trailer. Any final thoughts on like what all this means?
No, to your point, I think we have just as many questions, if not more, after watching this thing and going through it with a fine-tooth comb. But I do feel confident about some pretty solid answers that we've got. So it may have been obvious on a first watch, but the through line about Uatu having to face some consequences for his interference certainly seems like it's going to be a through line.
I hadn't noticed in that shot that the Council of Watchers that seems to be confronting them are looking down on Uatu.
Right.
That was new to me. That's cool.
Yeah. Apart from that, it's kind of like what I said up top. I'm just really excited that it's a little bittersweet because it does seem like this will be the final season. Maybe they're lying to us, hopefully. But if it is going to be the final season, it's really encouraging to me that they're going to take the opportunity to include some of these side characters that haven't had a second chance to shine. Kate Bishop, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, the Eternals. Yeah, who may or may not be in this thing.
Some sort of Eternals tech. We got Kingo. Yeah. Kingo is definitely in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And there's definitely some Eternals tech happening. But whether or not there's more Eternals, we'll wait and see. All right. Well, thanks guys for joining us. Both people who joined us live to watch this, and if you join us on the audio, or if you want to check us out on the YouTube, thanks so much for all the recent love we've been getting on YouTube, all the extra subscriptions and the likes and all that. It really helps out the channel, and it helps us spread the little Stranded Panda community to more folks. So appreciate you all. We'll be back with more. Jay Scotty, what do you got going on, buddy?
Yeah, well, since we're talking about an animated trailer here, let's talk about Animation to Liberation, the podcast where we take action, animation, and cartoons seriously, but not too seriously. So check that out. And then I am a proud member of Multiverse News, where we talk about the latest and greatest in the world of movie and TV news. Yeah.
And don't forget, me and you are also going to be on Always Watching tonight or tomorrow. I guess when this drops, it'll already be out. So check out Always Watching. We are going to be talking about Penguin season finale. It was quite a doozy. So we'll be talking about that over there. So thanks for joining us here on this watch of The What If trailer. It's going to be a great season. Only about a month and a half away. Can't wait. Peace.
Until next time, true believers.
Hey, you just listened to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast from Stranded Panda. I really hope you liked it. Let me just say a big thank you to all of our supporters on patreon.com/MCUcast. You are the lifeblood of our little operation here, and a huge thank you to our insanely generous Illuminati tier patrons, Walter Kreisky III, Lieutenant Bongo, and Jazz Viz. You guys are amazing. If you'd like to see our beautiful faces, you can catch a video version of many of our episodes at youtube.com/strandedpanda. Love you 3000, my friends.